Hi everyone, I'm Karen Monteculo. I am a co-developer on this course, and I'm going to be leading you through Module 3, where we talk about insights throughout the customer journey. So very specifically on our agenda today is that we are going to do a quick recap of what we learned last session. We'll then talk about goals or what we're hoping that we'll be able to achieve by the end of this session. We'll then, nuts and bolts, talk about the definition of a customer journey and when during the marketing and advertising process they can be most useful. Then brass tacks, how do we actually create a customer journey map? And what are the different types of market research methodologies and techniques that can be useful in the creation of a customer journey map? That's going to be our session. And then Andy is going to lead a separate session which walks you through the details of the Nature's Own bread customer journey, which will be helpful in your forthcoming assignment. Okay, so what did we learn last week? So first and foremost, we established why insights are important and how they can help us really build advertising that resonates with consumers. We analyzed insights across a myriad of different advertising campaigns. We evaluated how insights drive relevance and distinction for different brands. And then we introduced the beginning of our Nature's Own case study, which will carry us through this entire course. By the end of this week, we're hoping that you're able to do three things. So first, establish the reason or the rationale you would develop a customer journey map. Again, why and how they can be useful in the creation of powerful advertising. Then, how do you actually generate insights that will enable you to populate a customer journey map? And then really just evaluate all the aspects of a customer journey map that, when leveraged, can again impact and maximize the power of your advertising. So, diving right in, we are going to define the role of a customer journey map. So, we'll start where we kind of always start, just the definition of what a customer journey map is. And quite frankly, it's very simple. It's a visualization or a diagram of all of the steps that a customer takes as they engage with your business or your brand or your company. And this is inclusive of an online experience, a retail experience, a service, or any combination of all. I work in entertainment. I work within a large linear cable broadcaster. So some of the examples I'll share are specific to that category. And we build customer journey maps all the time in terms of how people are finding different genres of television, how people are finding different shows, or how they are moving across platforms in their discovery of new content. So the use cases for customer journey maps are really varied, and they're very powerful in the development of products, content, marketing, so on. So we should be thinking of them as a tool. They're a strategic tool. You know, they are used to not only define the journey, you have a nice example here of what one might look like, but of course, within each of the phases, we're looking for critical touch points, critical inflection points where marketing, advertising, or even a product innovation could be influential because we've identified a pain point or a gap that could be solved by our brand. Customer journey maps also help us prioritize resources by helping us pinpoint where, again, we can optimize, we can enhance, we could reevaluate a friction that a consumer is feeling as we see it mapped across all of the different phases as they move from awareness to trial, loyalty, and even advocacy. So to add a little bit to that, we definitely can think of customer journey maps as helping businesses in a multitude of ways. So again, we're going to define customers' needs at each stages of the journey. That understanding can help unlock innovation. It can help unlock product development or optimization opportunities. It also can help understand gaps. So in terms of what prospective customers are looking for in an experience and maybe what our brand is actually delivering. And again, that will lead to that product innovation. Surely, a customer journey map helps develop communication strategies in terms of how we should be speaking to our prospects or our current audiences to get them to do whatever it is that we're trying to influence them to do through that advertising. And then it helps us evaluate sales processes so that we can kind of start this whole process again as we think of a customer journey map almost in a loop and iterate on the learnings time and time again. Next, we will look at the steps to creating a customer journey map. So while it's nice to think of these as kind of pretty one sheets, oftentimes they're not that. They're quite complex and they're non-linear because consumers are unique and differentiated, right? So there are many factors that make customer journey mapping complicated. Of course, your persona. Who are you talking to? Each individual person is a different demographic. If I'm thinking about my own category, are we talking about viewers who are watching by themselves? That might lead to one type of viewing occasion versus if they're watching with their family. That might lead to a whole different type of viewing occasion and a whole different type of journey. The product life cycle. Are we talking about a brand new show that has to find a brand new audience? That would require one very, at times, complicated journey. Or is this a veteran show that's been on the air for quite some time that the journey to get there is much more direct? Customers' historical experience. Do they love the show? Is it an avid fandom? The way that they find and journey to the content or to the product offering is going to be quite different than somebody who's a less heavy user or maybe a new user. Category dynamics. What kind of show are we talking about? What kind of offering? Is it something that's in a very fragmented category or a concentrated category? All of that will impact the different stages and inflection points along that journey. And finally, the motivations for use. What is bringing them to your product? Or in my category, what is bringing them to the show? Is it a different unique need state, a certain type of mood that they're in that might differ person to person, which again would result in a very different journey. We love this quote here from Forbes, so I think I'll read it. Customers experience roadblocks, dead ends, and frustrations in their journey. The more friction we put in front of potential customers, the less likely they are to complete that journey. It's just a reminder that understanding the map and looking at where that friction could be is going to help unlock innovation, again, whether it's through product innovation or communications innovation, to help make a more seamless experience that'll ultimately drive, hopefully, higher conversion. In terms of the stages of the journey, I like to think of these maps as art and science. There's absolutely no one way to do it. And the number of stages or the exact stages that you're going to look at as a part of your journey are very much going to depend on whatever product or category you're analyzing. Here we have a couple of different examples. All of them have 5 different stages, if you will. In general, you have an awareness phase, a consideration phase, a purchase phase, a retention phase, and then an advocacy phase. Are your customers, willing to recommend your product? What's your NPS score? All of those types of metrics falling in that latter phase. But in general, a journey tends to have between 4 and 6 stages. Step by step, we've kind of devised here a little bit of a rubric in terms of how we should think about creating journey maps. And it starts where it always starts when it comes to advertising, understanding your audience. Who is your target? What do they need? Who are they? What are their unique differentiators? What's their attitudes? What are their psychographics? What are their interests, their hobbies? All of those things that will really bring your audience to life. And that's what step 2 is all about, developing a persona or a pen profile that helps kind of create a fictional character, if you will, that you can embody for your target audience and really help bring them through the journey. Once you have your persona, then you're going to brass tacks understand by phase, what are the pain points? Where's that friction? What does my consumer need in this phase? What are their goals for this phase of their journey? What are they hoping to get out of it? What do they need from my brand? And of course, what are their behaviors? What are they actually doing step by step by step as they engage with my brand or my product? Then 4, we're going to put it on paper. And some I've seen journeys that are very bare bones, couple boxes, and I've seen highly visualized, beautiful journeys, and I've seen journeys that are built through web experiences where you can actually follow along in a again, like a very digital way that is highly animated and very engaging. So the way that you bring those to life vary quite a bit depending on your business need. Next, we're going to look within each stage and try to understand the insight. So we've pulled all this data. We know who our audience is. We've developed a persona. We understand the behaviors, the pain points, the friction. We're going to develop an insight per stage that will help, again, unlock some type of product optimization or advertising campaign, ultimately depending on where you are in your product life cycle and what you are trying to do. And then last but not least, we iterate. Customer journey maps are rarely one and done. We tend to make them, learn from them, uh, operationalize off of them, learn again, and then redo. So it's kind of constantly an ever evolving process in most of the journey maps that I've worked on. We'll finally touch a little bit on the different types of market research techniques or methodologies that are often used to populate customer journey maps. We're going to cover some of this in the next section as well. So rest assured that this is just a bit of an introduction. Okay, so in terms of the information required to populate a customer journey map, we should be using our methods to address a couple of different things. So again, what's that overarching insight? We talked about that a little bit on the previous slides. What are the customer activities? What are they doing? What are the behaviors? What are their goals and motivations? What are their experiences, their emotions? What is their emotion coming into this phase? What's their emotion coming out of this phase, the end state, the need states and the end states, if you will? Of course, what's the business goal? And then how are we going to measure this? What are the KPIs? Often, journey maps are pulled together through a blend of different resources. This illustrative map here on the right shows a combination of qual, quant, social, and secondary data. And oftentimes you start with kind of a back of the napkin consumer journey map based on everything your own institutional knowledge. What do we think this map could look like? And then we apply the rigor of some of these methodological approaches to actually quantify and build out empirically build out that map. Some other considerations, and again, I'll go through these a little bit quickly because we'll go through each of them in a bit more detail next week in Module 4, but we should be thinking about in terms of as we look at our research, our tool arsenal, what tools we want to pick. Is this a qualitative project? Do we want to explore more of the why? Or is this more about sizing? And is this more about exactitude? Quantitative research might be more appropriate. Again, do we need rational insights, the reasons to believe? Is it about price or function versus emotional needs, the actual benefit, emotional benefit? This gives me brand badge, or this gives me nostalgia. What types of needs and what types of things we're hoping to identify there will help inform what types of research. Budget, of course, how much budget we have will always inform the types of research that we're able to undergo. The customer type, are they easy to reach versus niche? Easy to reach, tending to be less expensive, tethered to that budget point above. Flexibility and timeline. So all of these things are things that we think about at the beginning of a customer journey project to help map out the types of methods that we will use or that would be appropriate for our business problem. Okay, and then these last few slides, we will talk about very specific tools, if you will, for journey mapping. So first is customer or user interviews. They're exactly like they sound. They're kind of one-on-one deep conversations where we can talk to our customers and hear firsthand, how do they use the product? How did they discover the product? What are their frustrations with the product? What are their needs? What are they getting? Where are the gaps? And those tend to be very in-depth conversations. And because they're in-depth and with tend to be one person, they're a little bit more expensive. We don't do as many of them as if we were to do a survey per se, but we're able to get enough that we're able to pull together insights from the thematics that we hear across the suite of interviews. Direct observation. So this is, again, pretty self-explanatory in the sense that we are kind of going into the natural environment where people are using our product or engaging with our service and watching them, learning from them, seeing how they actually flow through an interaction, and then trying to uncover their mindsets in the moment, in real time. Contextual inquiries. This is really about clarifying observations and asking kind of more thought-provoking open ends. Diary studies tend to happen over a longer period of time. I'm going to send you this product and you're going to use it every day for 30 days and go into your phone every day in the afternoon and answer a couple of questions about how you used it, the type of need state it satiated, if you had any problems with the product that day, and then you get a longitudinal database across many different entrants where you can start to understand, again, that journey over a period of time. Competitive analysis. We didn't talk that much about competitive here, but it's also really, really important. Understanding the needs of your product, a lot of that is often uncovered by understanding the needs of the category and understanding where your brand fits relative to other brands and where the white space might be. And looking at competition obviously helps us develop benchmarks and really understanding strengths and weaknesses relative to the whole category. Surveys, of course, quantifying frequency and magnitude of behaviors, attitudes, and needs. Maybe a subset of survey data is specific customer feedback studies, where we know you've just used product X and we want to understand how it went for you. Were there any opportunities that we might have missed? Digital analytics is an important part of a journey. What are they actually clicking on your website? How long are they spending? Where are they exiting? Where are they coming from? Are they coming from Google or are they coming from social? All of those types of behavioral data can help flesh out a customer journey map. Of course, customer loyalty or satisfaction scores. We spoke briefly about Net Promoter. Are they willing to advocate for your brand? That will all help flesh out your advocacy phase of your journey and understanding how we can get people more evangelized to talk about our brand and to bring more people into the fold through word of mouth. And lastly, we have social sentiment analysis. Any type of really social analytics could fall in this bucket where we can understand unprompted how people are talking about our product and services, and again, understand unprompted what the areas of optimization might be, if those pain points, where that friction lies. And then any secondary data we have that unpacks category dynamic, competition, like competitive brand equity, all of that is also helpful in creating a journey map. So with that, I'm going to stop, and Andy is going to pick up in a separate section that you will find in Brightspace, where he is going to overview the customer journey map. We look forward to discussing these insights with you in our class next week. Thanks, guys.